Joining us now is Brian Levin. He's professor of criminal justice at Cal State San Bernardino, also former NYPD officer and criminologist. Thanks for joining us this evening, Professor. I mean, first of all, can you get into his mind, Kelly's mind? You teach at something called the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism. There certainly is hate. You know, who did he hate? Society, America, someone specifically in that church. From your experience, what would you say in your gut is the cause of this type of lashing out?
Great question. We have three types of assailants that are involved in these mass casualty symbolic attacks. Number one, the ideologically motivated, either personal benefit, number one, ideologically motivated, either religious or political or a hybrid. Number two, psychologically dangerous. Could be a sociopath, could be someone with some cognitive impairment, all the way to high-functioning paranoid schizophrenics. Number three, personal benefit or revenge. I think it's going to be numbers 2 or 3 or some combination thereof. Maybe he's got some anti-authority issue going on, or bigotry against religion, or someone connected to that particular local church. And again, our hearts and prayers go out to our Christian friends in Texas. But the bottom line is, what the authorities are going to be doing are rolling up his social media footprint, his digital footprint, forensics. Who has he been associating with to get some idea? One last thing. In 30 to 40% of these kind of attacks, researchers find something called leakage, where there's a behavior or a verbal clue. And once we get those pieces of the jigsaw puzzle put together, that's what I think we have. And of course, a suspected hate crime because of the location being a church. But what remains to be seen, what was the exact motive, we'll see as the authorities investigate this and roll up all these loose threads.
Yeah, we don't know the situation with his wife at the moment, whether she was a member of the church or his mother-in-law, who apparently, according to one report, had a post office box there. That's not confirmed. So there may be some connections, and he lived nearby. You mentioned leakage. I mean, look,
yes.
The guy's got apparently he's got a picture of the murder weapon, the assault rifle, on Facebook. And does anyone say anything? Neighbors say that they heard shots whizzing like over their heads, who lived near him, and they heard a lot of gunfire over the last few days. And, you know, and we're constantly told, if you see something, say something. How do we know? Maybe no one said anything, and they should have.
They absolutely should have. And Mr. Webb, who is an LAPD police commander who was on your air just earlier this evening, talked about what they do in Colorado, where you can safely report these kind of suspicions. And I think if there's one lesson to be learned, is that, you know, whether you want to talk gun control, mental illness, or anything else, we as a community, if we get some kind of suspicion, report it. Let the authorities get to the bottom of it. I think you made an excellent point.
And what do you say? I mean, about the unbelievable, offensive depravity of this. A woman who's expecting, pregnant, shot dead. Children, shot dead. The 14-year-old daughter, Annabelle, of the pastor and his wife, shot dead. A 5-year-old shot dead. What gets into that mind? You talk about psychosis, mental health. What type of mixture goes into that mind that plans for this by going out and buying this stuff, getting the weapon, which is illegal if indeed he was a discharge, as we have confirmed? You know, what type of mixture is this that causes it? Because we've seen this type of thing before with previous shooters when they prepare for this type of assault. It's an assault on society. It's an assault on us. It's an assault on the very soul and fabric of this country.
Yes, it is. And just quickly, one of the things that we saw, for instance, with the Seal Beach killer here in Orange County in Southern California, he not only murdered his estranged wife, but everyone in that orbit. So when someone is angry and is consumed, and there's a symbol, everyone associated with that symbol is fair game in the minds of these sociopaths. Timothy McVeigh talked about collateral damage after the Oklahoma City Federal Building, although he said that he didn't know kids were there. But the bottom line is,
the nursery school, the nursery on the second floor of the Alfred Murrow building.
Yes, absolutely. And when people are consumed with this anger and they gear themselves up, anyone in that orbit, in the mind of these depraved individuals who are angry, is fair game. unfortunately.
It is revolting, it is horrifying, but it is the age and the way in which we live. Professor Brian Levin out of Cal State, thank you. And thank you for the work you do in the Center for Hate and Extremism.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.